excited to see some animals.
Mostly only active around dawn and dusk. Both males and females are going to have long twisted horns, but males are going to be a little bit darker in their chest coloration. And then here a little bit further past that bamboo, that light brown antelope is a kudu, and that one's a female. Males have horns. It can be up to 16, or sorry, the male's horns can be up to 6 feet long as well. Over to our right, kind of up against that back wall, that dark brown animal with a striped like xenocopy. They're the only known relative of the giraffe. They were originally thought to be related to zebras because of those stripes on their legs, but they have the same skull shape as giraffes. They're gonna have those same file tongues as well, used to grab onto leaves and branches. And the males are gonna have a saddle-billed stork. They're gonna stand around 5 feet tall, and unlike other birds, they're not gonna tweet or chirp. They're just gonna rattle their beaks together to make a clicking noise. Not the best view, but resting up against this rock wall on our left, we can just see that rear end, but the thing absolutely coated in mud is a black rhino here. Black rhinos are going to weigh in around 3,000 pounds, which is actually pretty small as far as African rhinos go. Others going to be much, much larger.
He looks like a rat.
Just a couple of years ago, there were only about 5,000 of them left in the world, but thanks to conservation efforts, those numbers have doubled. Are going to mate for life. But these grayish-white birds, they're pink-back pelicans. The skin on their back is a beautiful pink color. It becomes more vibrant during their mating season. That's how they get their name. They're pretty large. They're going to have up to a 9-foot wingspan. They can breathe on land. And once they go underwater, they tend to be there for quite a while. They can hold their breath for up to 8 minutes. And because of that, they prefer to travel by just sinking down to the bottom of the water and walking along the floor.
No.
They are known for their... But they have the same 7 vertebrae that we have in our necks. Theirs are just much, much larger. There's also a couple cows way back there in that corner. Those are Ankoli cattle. They're the only domesticated animal to live out here amongst the wild animals on the reserve. They're seen as a symbol of wealth in parts of Africa. The more Ankoli cattle you have, the wealthier you are. And those dark brown animals with the skinny horns way in the back there are sable antelope. They're the emblem for the Harambe Wildlife Reserve because when they get threatened, they're going to stand their ground and protect their herd just like we protect these animals out here. They have those spot patterns. If you look at that spotting guide above your head, you can find a reticulated giraffe up there. Their lines are a little bit more neat. Giraffes spend around 18 hours of the day eating. When you do that, it doesn't leave a whole lot of time for sleeping, so they're only going to sleep for about 30 to 90 minutes each day. And they won't even do all that at the same time either. They're just going to take a couple little power naps to make that up. And 20 feet down is a pretty long way to go. It's going to put them in a really vulnerable position, so they tend to avoid it for as long as they can. Which is why unless a giraffe is super comfortable in their environment, they're typically just going to stay standing, even if they're asleep.
He's on the move. Oh my goodness.
Hello.
Being the tallest land mammal, giraffes are never really short animals. The springbok are these little brown and white ones. Springbok are one of my favorite animals out here on the reserve because they're just so small but so mighty. They're only going to stand around 3 feet tall, but they do this thing called pronking, which is where they jump up off the ground with all 4 feet. They can jump 6 feet up and over 10 feet forward from a standstill.
He's just chilling.
There's a big giraffe. See it? In the tree?
Whoa. That's huge.
Now it looks like we're headed into elephant territory.
What do you
A little further up here.
What do you see?
Flap them is going to promote circulation and cool their entire body down about 10 to 15 degrees.
Isn't it so cool?
Looks like it's just those 2 over here, so we're going to keep going. I'm hoping we'll...
Handle locks. Can you see it now? Baby elephant.
Where's the baby? You see the baby?
of pink. They get their coloration from the food that they eat, which is brine, shrimp, and krill. Once flamingos hatch, they're still great fluff balls, and as they get older, they're going to lose those gray feathers, gain some white ones, and slowly turn to that gorgeous shade of pink.
Told you, pink because they eat shrimp.
Well, that's a
Head
big
to the
one.
Vegas, look. Told you that.
Boom.
We're all the way to the left side. Cheetahs are the fastest land mammal, reaching speeds up to 70 miles per hour in only about 3 strides.
Oh, there's two chilling.
They can't keep that up forever. That's only around the length of 2 football fields. At that point, they tend to overheat and they have to rest for a while in order to cool. Earlier with the black rhino, I mentioned that 3,000 pounds is pretty small. This white rhino is going to weigh upwards of 5,000, making them the 3rd largest land mammal, just behind African and Asian elephants.
That's crazy.
A couple of them over there. White rhinos are a lot more social than black rhinos are. That's going to be the same as 24 chicken eggs. The shells are pretty sturdy. A grown adult human can
You can
stand
eat
on them
ostrich,
without
can't you?
breaking it. So those baby ostriches have a
Sell
lot
an
of
ostrich
room
egg
where they
without
can hatch.
breaking it.
Can you?
Just like that.
That is cool. Why does he not move?
Goats are
No
smaller
move.
than other types, which makes them awesome for conservation. They're going to take up less room and less resources. They also produce some pretty sweet milk that can be sold for high prices, so they're good for the economy too.
Why do not move?